blessing. It's the way of confessing to all the things we have done wrong. Prayer will increase your faith in the Almighty. It will help you develop.
If you're going to hang out with me for the next few minutes, I want you to share this video. Share this video on your page. Share it on a friend's page. Share it in a room. Share it in a group. And when you share it, please tag someone in it.
Pray that He will continue to show us mercy. Pray that the light of His countenance shine on we. Pray for forgiveness because we all have gone astray. Get on your knees and pray.
My people, I'm finished. My name is Alan Palmer, Silverton Grenadines, favorite of Moses the Son. Let me introduce myself to you. I am the Diaspora Machismo. Today, we are going to speak of only the things that pertain it to the Most High. Today's topic, Christianity teaches the Israelites how to betray their race, how to betray their ancestors, and how to betray their God. Oh, great supreme and sovereign Most High, as I come before your people today to talk to your people on the topic Christianity teaches the Israelites how to betray their ancestors, how to betray their race, and how to betray their God. Most High, I ask that you'll put your words upon my heart. Let only the things that you've placed upon my heart proceed from my mouth. In Yahushua's name, I say, let it be done. People, our scripture reading today is coming from Deuteronomy chapter 7. Deuteronomy chapter 7. We're going to read for verse 1 to 4 and verse 6. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1 to 4 and verse 6. When the Lord your God bring you into the land which you go to possess, and has cast out many nations before you, the Hittites and the Gergesites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. And when the Lord your God delivers them over to you, you shall conquer them and utterly destroy them. You shall make no covenant with them, nor show mercy to them, nor shall you make marriages with them. You shall not give your daughter to their sons, nor take their daughter for your sons. For they will turn your sons away from following me, and to serve other gods. So the anger of the Lord will arouse against you, and destroy you suddenly. Verse 6. For you are a holy people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be a people for himself, a special treasure above all the people of the face of the earth. That is the reading. People, to this topic, Christianity teaches the Israelites how to betray their race, how to betray their ancestors, and how to betray their God. From many studies that have gone before, we have learned from scriptures that the children of the transatlantic slave trade is actually the Israelites of the Bible, the direct descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It was our forefathers who wrote the Bible. The Bibles are stories about our foreparents. So the topic is, Christianity teaches the Israelites to be a traitor to their race, a betrayer of their ancestors, and a betrayer of their God. From the scriptures, from the scripture reading, we learn in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For you are a holy people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God hath chosen you to be a people for himself, a special treasure above all the people of the earth. People, this is a very serious text. And this is why Christianity teaches the Israelites how to betray their race, how to betray their ancestors, and how to betray their God. It's not that Christianity do not know that the descendants of the children of the transatlantic slave trade are the Israelites of the Bible. It is because it is not in their interest to teach the children of the transatlantic slave trade who they are. Because the authors of Christianity had a very big plan to ensure that we keep this special treasure of the Most High, slaves, ignorant, and at the mercy of their enemies. Why? Because they know that the Most High gets personally and intimately involved in the affairs of his children. So here we see from Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6 that we, the Israelites, the descendants of the children of the transatlantic slave trade, are a holy people. The word holy means set aside or consecrated for the use of God. So here we see that we, the descendants of the children of the transatlantic slave trade, are a holy people, a people that was set aside for the use of the Most High. We were not set aside for the use of the Most High by some high priest in some religion. This was the decision of the Creator of heaven and earth to choose us and to choose to bestow his love, his mercies, his grace, and his power upon us and call us his own. So you would have think that if the Most High saw it fit to call you his own, that the people who are teaching you how to get to heaven, how to please and to honor the Creator, they will teach you that you are a peculiar people. You are a special treasure of the Most High. But they don't. Let me tell you why it is important that you know who you are. Because when you know who you are, you tend to behave different. Let me give you a personal story. When I was a young child, I was hanging out with my father in his shop. My father started a conversation with me, and throughout the conversation, one of the points that I could remember in that conversation, my father telling me, the only thing of value he have to leave for me when he die is his good name. And he said to me, my good name is better than money. So as a child, I wondered, how can my father's good name be better than money? He says, listen to me. I'm not a criminal. I've never been to prison. I've never been convicted of a crime. I don't steal and I don't rob people. I live at peace with the people around me, and I'm honest with them in my dealings with them. That's okay. My father was not trying to imply that he was a perfect man, because he was far from perfect. He was just trying to show me that he valued his character. And he told me that no one sees his character, but they know his reputation. And his reputation is associated with his name. So when they speak about Palmer, people conjure up in their minds the man who is an honest dealing, straight talking gentleman. I didn't catch what he was telling me. So when I was going to secondary school, it started getting a little clearer what my father told me when I was a child. I was about 13 years old, attending the intermediate high school. On our way home from school, we normally stopped into the Good Luck family store. The proprietor of the Good Luck family store was a lady I only know her by the name of Miss Goodluck. We'll go in there, Miss Goodluck will serve us, she'll speak to us kindly, you know, very professional and so forth. One day when I was cashing my 2-cent worth of purchase, she said, "What is your name?" I say, "My name is Alan." "Alan what?" she says. I say, "Alan Palmer." She said, "Where do you live?" I say, "I'm living at Rose Place." "You mean Bottomtown?" I say, "Yes." She said, "Mr. Palmer is your father?" So when she said, "Mr. Palmer is your father," I was shocked that this young lady in her mid-30s, probably about 34, something like that, running a very nice business, a modern business, not a shop like my father ran from the olden era, a modern business with modern furnitures, modern display racks, modern items in a store, novelty and so forth. I was shocked that she knew my father. I thought the only people that knew my father was the people that come to see him in the shop and come at our homes. She said, I said, "So you know my father?" She said, "Yes, of course I know your father. Your father is my good friend." I said, "My father? You're my father friend?" I was totally shocked. She said, "Your father is a good man, he's an honest man. And when me and Sam is driving around this area, I always tell Sam to stop at Mr. Palmer. I'll go in and say hi to Mr. Palmer." I was bewildered. This lady not only know my father, she referred to him as Milton. "Hi Esther, nice to have you, my friend. How are you?" And she called him a good man, an honest man. It started to make sense what my father told me about he leaving his good name for me, and I must do the same for my children. So when I went home, I went and I had a good look at my father. Say, "This guy is hiding things from me." I didn't know he know people like Miss Goodluck. And from that day, when Miss Goodluck found out that Mr. Palmer was my father, she always referred to me as Palmer. And she always treated me with kindness and dignity and respect. It started to come together. So because this lady, she never treated us bad before, but because this lady knew and respected my father, she treated me with added respect. She would have conversation with me when she would not have conversation with the rest. When she would tell him good afternoon and how was the day, she would have added conversation with me. I said, my God, I kind of started to understand what my father was saying. Later, after I finished school, I was about 16 years or so. Didn't have no qualification. Wasn't qualified, not even to catch a fly. I wanted a job because I needed money in my pocket. I saw an advertisement in the newspaper. J.W. Abbotson's son wanted a salesman to drive around in a van and to sell their products wholesale to the shops and stores all across the country. I write an application to J.W. Abbotson's son. It was reviewed. I got a phone call saying I must come in for an interview. When I went in for an interview, I was interviewed by the manager. Sat down and tell me about the job. He said, I see you are from Rose Place. Where is Rose Place? Is that down in the country? I said, no, Rose Place is Bottomtown. Just down there. He said, Bottomtown and Palmer. Palmer, the shop. What is it to you? I said, that's my father. He said, that's your father? And the folder he had in his presence, he closed it. And he got up from behind his seat. And he looked out the window. And he says, if you want the job is yours. He said, I will give you this job without conducting the full interview with you. Because if Mr. Palmer is your father, you have to be like your father, and you will be an honest man, and I am hiring you based on the reputation and the honesty of your father. Now it starts making sense what my father said when he told me that he has nothing of value to give to me when he died but his good name, and I must ensure that I give his good name to my children. People, this is a serious issue. So here we see a manager, a general manager of a multi-million dollars company that has car dealership, that has grocery stores, that has appliance department and furniture department, that had a novelty department, one of the biggest business in Kingston, is going to hire me based on the reputation of my father. People, I start understanding what my father meant when he told me that. And now I was now careful with the things that I do and with the things that I say and how I treat people, because I see the way my father behaved have affected me so positively that I was willing to try my best to pass that down to my children. One of the things my father told me in that conversation is not that I didn't want to do these things that other people were doing. It is because I had to protect my father's good name. And he said, I'm depending on you to protect my father's good name. It started making sense. Oh, my father, my grandfather gave my father a good name and a good reputation, and he is giving me that, and he wants me to preserve it for my children. People, that is why I am careful not to be a stooge, not to be a sellout, not to mistreat people, but to be honest and straightforward with people all the time. People, I tell you the story to show you. Sometimes when you understand and when you know who you are and the value that are placed upon you as an individual, you tend to behave different. Okay. So when you don't know that you are an Israelite, that you are the direct descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not one who is begging for a come up, but this is your blood, this is your lineage, this is who you are. People, I will tell you this. I was a slave to sex. I was a slave to sex. I will not lie to people to have sex with them or do any of these things. But I was a slave to sex. I will sweet talk and manipulate and induce and seduce people into having sex with them. But once I start studying, and this is when I was a Christian, once I start studying the scriptures for myself, and once I start digging deeper and deeper, and then when I realized that I was an Israelite, I was the direct descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and when I realized that slavery only came about because we were disobedient to the Most High, I start purposing in my heart to live as the Most High want me to live, because now I realize that I'm just not some ordinary person. I was chosen, my forefather was chosen by the Most High to be a holy person, to be a holy people. All their descendants were chosen to be a holy people, one that is set aside for the use of the Most High. So if I was chosen by the Creator, the all-powerful God, then why should I behave like a nobody, like a slave, like a child of a slave? You understand? If you understand who you really are, it changes your perspective, it changes your behavior, it changes your attitude. So the question we have to ask here is, why haven't the preachers of the gospel, especially the Israelite preachers, why are they not telling us who we are? Why are they not telling us that by virtue of being brought across the sea on slave ship, and by the virtue of being treated so poorly, and by virtue of being bought and sold like property as bondmen and bondwomen, makes us the direct descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? I am sure a lot of these people who go into the church and call themselves Christians, if they come to the realization that they are Israelites, their behaviors will change. They will want to know more about who their foreparents are. They will go deeper into the scriptures. Just like when an individual find out that they are Garifuna, you see them digging to see about the Garifuna history and how they fought off the French, the British, and the Spanish for almost 300 years. It gives them a sense of pride. Like my Garifuna friend that I met in North Carolina, who became offended when I referred to her as an African Guatemalan, because she knew who her foreparents was, the Garifuna of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and how dare this man, this strange man, will come and insult me by calling me something that I am not, something I don't know, by referring to me as something that is beneath the heritage of my people. In the same way, a Garifuna go and search up for the history of the Garifuna. It is the same way. If all of these African American people, if all of the West Indian African people, if all of the South American African people, all those people in Brazil and other places discover that by virtue of their enslavement in the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th century, makes them the chosen of the Most High, their behavior will change. They will find new dignity, new reason for living, new reason to behave like they were special. So why aren't the churches teaching us this? We learn from the scriptures here. Deuteronomy 7 verse 2. And when the Lord your God deliver them over to you, you shall conquer them and you shall utterly destroy them. You shall not make covenants with them. People, we are not supposed to be going into contract, making covenants with the people who are not like us, that lives around us. We are not supposed to take their sons for our daughters, and we are not supposed to give our sons to their daughters, because we are a holy people to the Lord your God, not because someone make us holy, but because the Most High have chosen us to be holy. People, the churches, the Christian churches are teaching us There are only 10 commandments you must keep. That's the law of the Lord. No, but this is the law also. This is the law that directs us and teaches us how we must interact and deal with the nations around us.
Get on your knees, I'm begging you please. Pray that He increase our faith and endurance. Pray for His protection and also His guidance. Pray that He give to us life and strength for